Commenting on here was a mistake, and I wish I hadn't done it. It changed everything for me, not all in bad ways, but mostly in bad ways. I'm commenting again now because there are people on Reddit and probably elsewhere who are claiming to be aliens, or that I'm a government agent or an alien agent or something like that, and they're all lying. I'm talking about the history of the Earth guy and the end of an era contract guy. These are hoaxes. They don't know anything, and it looks to me like they're trying to take advantage of my story and my life to get attention. I haven't even visited Reddit for years, and now I've seen all these posts about my comments. I wish I'd never commented at all, but July is so close, and I won't be here much longer, so what's the point of not talking anyway? And I think I owe it to a few people who have meant a lot to me. It makes me angry to see people try to take advantage like this when people have really suffered and really want answers. So I'm trying to type it all out. Maybe I'll run out of energy or stop caring, but I'm going to try. I was wrong about a lot when I posted before, and I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to mislead anyone. It's just that I didn't know what I know now. After I commented on here, my relationship with Jack and Gina changed, especially with Gina, and it was like it opened a door up for me, and I was able to ask more questions and learn from her. And I guess that's good, because I was able to learn a lot more about who they are and what they're doing. But in the whole, this was a big mistake, because it made my life here so much worse than it already was. I messed up big time, and I'm still paying for it every day, and I'm maybe going to pay for it big in a couple of days. I've been up 16 times since I commented on here, and it's much more often now because they're almost done with me. I'm going up once more this week, and that's it. I'll stay with them in the big ship for a while, and then I'll go back with them. That's what they've told me, and I know that I don't have a choice about this, and I don't care anyway. I don't think they're going to hurt me, but honestly, I don't know anymore. I found out a lot about them, and it's not good mostly. They might kill me. I know that, but I also don't think that they'll torture me in any way, or imprison me, or anything like that. It doesn't seem like them to do anything like that, so even if they are lying, it's a better deal than I've got here. When I've answered questions on here before, I was afraid of people, human people on Earth, not afraid of aliens, and I think I made that pretty clear. I didn't know at the time that they ever did anything to hurt people. I don't think they do it a lot. I still don't really fear them, that they're going to hurt me. It was because I was afraid of people that I made a throwaway account on here instead of using my real name. I don't want anyone to find me, obviously, and because I wanted to protect the privacy of one of my friends, who isn't my friend as it turns out. I wasn't afraid of governments at the time, but I should have been. I don't know if the government was monitoring or if that's how they found me, but I was abducted by the United States government in broad daylight in 2015. They never identified themselves, but they were pretty clearly FBI or CIA or something like that, and I was in the United States when it happened, so I know it was the US government and not some other government. Whoever they are, but I think I know. They know who I am and where I am. They kept me for 3 days and tortured me far worse than the aliens ever have. They abducted me again in 2018 at an airport on my way back to my country, and they tortured me 7 days. I don't think the government found me because of my comments here. They weren't monitoring me and probably didn't even know I existed. Jack and Gina did know what I was doing, and that's why I had to quit answering questions last time I was here. I don't know why they knew it was happening right when it was, but they knew, and they told me to stop. They had to be either monitoring the whole internet or monitoring me, and so I'm pretty sure it was me. They're probably monitoring me right now too. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I should mention that Jack and Gina tried to tell me what they call themselves. They don't call themselves aliens, obviously. I can't spell the word that Gina used, and I can't even remember what it sounded like exactly, but they said that it meant friends of friends. Rough translation. They were really, really angry with me, and they took me up a couple of days after I stopped commenting here. It's hard to explain, but they didn't exactly threaten me, but they did tell me that things were going to be different after that, and that I shouldn't talk about them anymore, and that things were changing. Again, they didn't hurt me, but I was pretty scared of them for the first time in a long time. That the first chance or excuse I had, I left America for a while, but they found me wherever I went. They know where I am all the time, and that makes me think that I probably have some kind of tracking device in me somewhere. I don't know that for sure, but they've found me and taken me up now in 6 different cities on 2 different continents, so they must have some way of knowing where I am. Well, I guess technically 3 different continents. After posting here, I started talking with Gina, and it was different. This is so stupid to say, but I think Gina felt sorry for me, or maybe, I don't know, maybe they liked me. But after I got in trouble with them, it was different, and instead of them just showing me things and asking me questions, they started letting me ask questions. Gina would even say, "Do you have questions for me?" I don't know why, but I never bothered to ask Gina if she was a boy or a girl, or if they even had genders. It didn't seem important at the time, but now it seems like it's important because I don't know whether to type she, or her, or it, or what. That makes it difficult for me to type this and keep on topic, so I'm just going to say she for Gina, because that's the name she gave me, and I think of her that way. Asking questions and having conversations with them is always very difficult for me, and it leaves me exhausted. They just don't understand English well, and they say stuff in weird ways, very literal ways that don't make sense. It takes a long time to understand one another. I wouldn't say that I was friendly with Jack and Gina ever, but it definitely felt different. It seemed like they wanted me to ask questions and like they wanted to answer. And I really believe Gina and I were sort of becoming friends, which I know sounds very stupid. But that ended and changed in 2016 when Jack and Gina left to go back to their home, and they took Diane with them. I don't know why they went back, but it wasn't like all of the friends of friends went back. Jack never came back. And Gina, she came back in 2018, but she was so different when she came back to the point that I wondered if it was even the same Gina, or if it was like a different Gina, so I think of her now as Gina too. They all look sort of the same, but with little differences that you can tell. And Gina too has the same scar that Gina did, although now I don't know if it's the same scar, or if it's just about the way her skin is. Now Gina too is very down to business with me, and she doesn't seem like she cares at all about me, and I don't know if she ever did anyway. They took Diane away in 2016, and I haven't seen or heard much about her since then. But Gina too says that I'm going back with them, the same as Diane did. So I hope that I'll see her again, because I got pretty close to her family several years ago. I haven't talked with her mum in a while now, and she and her stepfather had a falling out, but I don't know what that was about. I don't have any of my own family left really, and I won't ever have any of my own kids, and Diane means a lot to me. I was wrong about some of the stuff I told you all when I commented last time, and I think I should clear up a couple of things. First, I'm really sorry that I said that they don't hurt people, because sometimes they do. I asked Jack and Gina about what they do to people, not just why they are studying me, but what they do to other people too. Jack and Gina told me that there are 3 kinds of human subjects that they study. The first is like me, who they study over a long period of time and who they talk with and study for a while. I don't know how I got put in this group or why they would be interested in talking with me more than anyone else. I think it's just luck, because they don't treat me like there's anything special about me. I've asked them and they don't really understand the question, I don't think. Some people in this group have been taken up hundreds of times over 80 years or more, but Gina told me that usually people don't get taken up anymore after they hit their 40s. At the time, I thought that meant that maybe they lost interest in people when they got older, but now I think maybe it's that most people in this group don't live that long. Some of us in this group they take back with them to wherever it is they come from. The second group of their little experiments are people who probably didn't even realise that they're being observed at all. Never abducted, but watched and studied. I don't think I'm in this group, and so I don't know nearly as much about it. I guess maybe they're watching me, but I feel like people in this group, they probably watch all the time. And I know they don't watch me all the time. I don't think they do anyway. The last group is people who they use for physical testing, and that usually kills them. Gina said that they don't hurt people just to hurt people, that they aren't mean, but that these people can't survive the testing. I'm not sure what it is they do to them, but it does kill them. I'm really sorry that I gave the impression that they didn't do this, when they actually do. I didn't know about it at the time, and I swear that I wouldn't have come on here and commented that they don't hurt people at all when they do. I still don't think people have anything to worry about, because they don't eat people. They aren't trying to harvest our organs. They aren't trying to steal our water or anything like that. But they do some bad things sometimes, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I'm sorry that I made people think that they don't when they do. One other thing that I was wrong about was that I think that I probably said that Jack and Gina's race, that I'm just going to call them friends of friends, because that's what they call themselves, didn't make a lot of those movies that they showed me. The friends of friends have only been here for something like 3,000 years. Before that, there were others here to watch us, and I think something bad happened, and then we completely killed off by the friends of friends, and they got Earth along with everything else that those others had. I don't know much about those others, and this is not a thing that I could really ask them about, so I really filled in some of my understanding here. Whoever the aliens were before, they must have been doing pretty much the same thing as the friends of friends, because they bothered to take all the videos and everything. But by the way Jack and Gina talked about it, I got the feeling that they didn't care for those others, like the others might have been their enemies, or that they might have done something bad. When they talked about it, they didn't talk about it like it was just a shift change or something. I'm pretty sure there was a war and the friends of friends killed all the others. And I'm not sure about this either, but I think the big ship might have actually been built or brought here by those others and not by the friends of friends. I know that when Jack and Gina went back home for a while, they didn't go in the big ship. The big ship pretty much stays put, I think, and I've never seen it from the outside, so I don't know what it looks like. It might not even be a ship, I guess. It could be like an office building on the moon for all I know. The other big thing that I was wrong about is that I said that they don't have religion. They say they don't, but I don't know about that. I know this sounds like they are stupid, and they can't be stupid if they can travel all the way here and they have these ships and all this technology, but this sounds pretty stupid to me. Gina said that there are a lot of different things out there. I can't remember if she said thousands or millions, but I think she said millions. And there are millions of planets with life on it, she said. And then there are some forms of life that don't even have planets. Some planets have just like fungus on them, or some fish, or plants. I think she said there are millions of civilizations out there. Many of them are advanced as hers, she said. She said that there are only 7 planets in the world that are like the Earth, where the dominant life form has the simple problems. She called them the simple problems, not me. She didn't tell me a list of the simple problems, but she told me that some of them were prayer and faith healings and churches and sorcery and magic and all that kind of stuff. Mostly all stuff about religion. And of those 7, she said there were only 3 where people believe they experience deja vu, or believe in prophecies, or that they worship idols. We are one of those 3, and that's why the friends of friends are here. That's why the others were here too, and that's why the next group is coming in July. Gina says that they know the whole world isn't really what it looks like, but it's actually the creation of a single intelligence, and that we and everything exist inside that intelligence. I asked her if it was like the Matrix, and then I explained to her what that was, and she said it wasn't like that at all. And so then I asked her if it was like that hospital show that ended and it turned out to be like a kid imagining it in a snow globe, and she said it wasn't like that either. But she said that it's the one thing that everyone in the world agrees on. All these thousands and thousands of advanced civilizations, they apparently all have proof that the world is imaginary, or a dream, or a computer program or something. And they study Earth and the other 2 planets like it because they're pretty sure that these 3 planets and the intelligent life on them are either mistakes, like accidents, or else one of them might be the centre of the whole thing and everything else is a mistake or an accident. They want to figure out which is which so that they can better understand the intelligence that creates the world. That sounds a lot like a religion to me. I tried to finish up college a few years ago and I took a world religion course, and to me this sounds like religion, but I'm not an expert, so I don't know. Also, I didn't end up finishing college. I only have like 3 courses left, but I'm not ever going to get there, and that bothers me a lot because a lot of people in my family were actually really educated and were doctors and engineers, and I'm nothing special. That's mostly because of this thing I've had to deal with as part of my life. When I look back on all the videos that they've shown me and all the questions that they've asked, it's pretty clear that this is what they are actually studying in me. I should have seen that even before Gina even told me, but it's hard to think clearly about things like this because it's traumatic. I've read some of the comments you've all made about me in the last few months, and I've seen a few of you mention mental health stuff, like I may be crazy. I'm not crazy, I'm not delusional or insane, but over the years I've had to deal with this stuff in my life, and it's not easy, and maybe that's caused me to see things a little differently than they really are. I don't mean like I'm imagining things, but I'm maybe justifying things or rationalising them. You have to understand that I don't have my own life, if you can understand that. I'm not in control of it. Someone else is. And they've done stuff to me, like taking me away and forcing me to watch things and interrogate me and all of it, and I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice in it. And I think maybe when I was commenting here before, maybe I was putting all the kind of rose-coloured glasses on my experience, because the reality of it is that my life doesn't mean anything to anyone, and I'm powerless. And it was easier for me to think of Jack and Gina as friendly, and as things that they would do with me as just not so bad. I don't know what my point is here, except that you shouldn't trust most abduction stories. I wouldn't trust most of the alien stuff that you hear either, because people out there want attention and they're bored, or they want to take advantage of you and make you do things, and they make stuff up to get your attention. If you've been through it in reality, it's easy to spot the people that make stuff up about it. I say this because I saw one of your comments that there's a guy posting that he's an alien named Adam, and he's going to show everyone the true history of the planet through the internet starting this summer. And he made this account right after I posted comments and then started posting recently. At one point, he even said that I was part of his scam somehow. That person is full of BS. That's not a real thing, and if you believe it, then I've got a bridge to sell you. And I mention it also because you are probably going to hear a lot more accounts of abductions in the next few years, because I've seen many more of us up there than I used to. Things have changed about the way they're observing us, and there's a lot more human contact, and a lot of those people are bound to mention it to friends or family. Then once that gets started, the hoaxers and the frauds are bound to start popping up. This stuff is really important though, and not just for you and for the earth, but for the people who they are taking. We are people, and this is not easy for most of us. It's hard and it's lonely, and we don't even have anywhere we can get help. If this story kept you listening until the end, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. We release new videos twice a week, Thursdays and Sundays, between 1800 and 2000 BST. And before you go, the truth is often scarier than fiction.